Candela, hypnotherapist, transformation coach, and a spiritual teacher. You're about to listen to a recording of one of my regression sessions. If you enjoyed the content on my channel, please consider subscribing. And if you click on the bell, it will inform you of any of my future postings. Also, leave a comment and click like, because that helps to bring this kind of content to more viewers. I hope you enjoy the recording, and I hope to see you again in my future videos. So I want you to tell me the first things that come to your awareness when you find yourself on that night.
Well, immediately I could feel the sheets were really soft white. And I remember the bedspread had like a flowery pattern on it. I haven't thought of that in a long time.
What do you notice beyond your bed?
The room was dark. It was asleep, so my friend was in bed next to me. He was to the right of me. There was like a little couch in front of us.
Why is your friend there?
For a sleepover. He was my good friend, Rob.
And become aware in the moment how old you are.
6 or 7.
What woke you up?
Rob woke me up.
How did he do it?
I don't know if he like shook me awake. He woke me up and he pointed it out to me, UFO. I can't remember what he said exactly, but he was like, just watch it.
I want you to just drop a little bit deeper into that experience so that you're not relying on a memory, but simply experiencing it. Let Rob go for a moment. And I want you to touch those sheets on the bed. Are they warm or cool?
Yeah, they're cool. They just feel really nice. Feels silky.
Can you see the colors?
The silky sheets were very white. And like I said, there was like a bedspread. It had like a floral pattern on it. It was also white, but it had like a dirtier feel to it. I don't know. Like it was old or something.
Tell me how it feels in the room.
Definitely comfortable.
So describe to me what you notice in the room.
I just noticed how dark it is. It just feels like this unusual darkness.
What's unusual about it?
It feels like sinister somehow, like there's something there. It just feels different. It's kind of like when you're outside and it's dark and darkness just feels like a threat.
You're going to become aware of when Robert wakes you up, and you will hear what he says to you. And tell me what he says.
He said, Steve, look outside.
Do you look outside?
Yeah.
And what do you see?
I see a light, and it looks like an airplane. I said that to him. I said, it looks like an airplane. And he said, no, keep watching it. So I looked back, and it was moving to the left, like laterally. And all of a sudden, it seems like it's closer to me than I thought at first. I guess I thought it was an airplane, but it feels a lot closer and a lot lower to the ground. And the light just seems bright. And I feel a connection to it. Like when I became aware of it, it kind of became aware of me.
How do you perceive that?
It just feels good. Like it doesn't feel scary or anything. It almost feels like looking like at an extension of myself or something. Like I was out there looking back at myself.
So what happens next?
It starts to move more toward the center of the window, and I'm just watching. I'm just fixated on it.
An actual object or just the light from it?
I think there's an object because it turns, like it rotates, and then I see different lights on the back, and they make like a pattern. It's a symmetrical pattern if you were to cut it down the middle.
The lights are on, or are they flashing?
Yeah. No, it's solid light. And it's not like a thin beam of light or anything, or like a little point. It looks like a thick line.
So you said when this object rotated, you could see the lights in the back.
That's when I felt the most connected to it. It's like it turned and it felt like it was looking at me. Like we were just staring at each other.
So it almost sounds like this object is conscious.
Yeah, I don't know if the object is conscious or if there's something in it, but it's like the whole thing was conscious.
So does it have a shape to it? Is there a solid object?
I don't know. I don't see a shape. I can only see the light.
While you're looking at that, where is Rob?
He's next to me. I don't really remember being very aware of him while I was staring at it. It felt like I was the only one there.
So you don't need to remember. I want you to just feel it now as you are
No, I do.
experiencing.
I don't know if I said remember, but I feel it. Like I know he must be there, but it feels like it's just me and this being or thing.
So I'd like you to just look around for a moment and see if you can become aware of what happened to Rob.
He's next to me. He looks like he's looking around the room.
Do you think he's seeing it?
Yeah, he sees it. I feel like he feels like there's something in the room too. We both feel it.
So what happens next?
All I can see is like the darkness of the room, and Rob and I are talking about aliens and how we're wondering if they would come down for us. And Rob says that they'd have laser guns.
Tell me if the feeling that you get in the room is the same or different from the feeling you get from the lights outside.
It's the same.
So before you said that inside the room it feels scary, but
I don't think it feels scary. It just feels like significant.
so is the presence or potential presence of something in your room related to the lights outside?
Yeah. It
Okay.
feels like it came from the light. It almost feels like the light is in the room. Not dark at all. Now I can see the whole room.
And what comes to your attention?
It looks normal. It's just lit up well suddenly. It feels like really bright, really, really bright. Like you want to squint.
So you're going to move forward in time just enough to witness what happens next. Tell me what happens that's significant.
It feels like there's something there. Like my head feels weird.
How does it feel?
It feels almost like euphoria feeling. A lot of energy. I feel it right in my forehead. That's where the light is coming from.
The light is coming from your forehead.
Yeah. It's almost like the light is there. I don't think Rob can see the light.
And what is the impact of that light?
It just makes me feel warm and calm and relaxed, like a loving sort of sensation.
And what is Rob doing in that moment?
He doesn't even look like he's moving. He's there, but he looks like he's frozen. He has like an excited look on his face, but he's not doing anything, but I can look around still.
Now, do you see that external light in the room still?
No, there's no external light. The light is from me.
Is the room lit up?
It is, but it isn't. I don't know.
So the light that's coming from within you, from your forehead, is it producing light or it's just you see within your mind?
It feels like it's producing light. It almost is a light source.
Is that what initially lit up the room? When
Yeah. It was dark, and then immediately it was just super bright.
become aware of the next significant moment or event, and tell me what happens next.
It's going to sound weird, but it feels like I'm not supposed to say anything. Like I'm
Okay.
not allowed to tell you about it.
That's all right. Are you aware what happens next?
It's like I'm aware, but I feel like I'm blocking myself even. Like I see it, but even I'm not allowed to see it.
Okay. Are you still inside your house?
I feel like I'm in the light right now. And the light, it's everywhere. It's somewhere else.
We're not going to try to give the information you're not supposed to bring back. We will respect that, of course. But just become aware if you are in a physical body.
No, definitely not in my physical body.
Is there anyone there with you? Any presence that you're aware of?
There's something there. There might be more than one even, but I can't make out anything about them.
So we're going to ask if it would be okay for them to come closer so that you can have more awareness.
I don't want them to come closer, but they did.
Why do you not want them to come closer?
I guess I'm scared. I feel scared of one in particular. It's the only one that I see right now. It looks like a bug almost.
Can you describe it a little more?
It's big. It's like as big as me. It's like face to face with me. It's not young like me, though. It feels like it's mature and it's there to accomplish something specific.
So when you say it's as big as you, it's as big as the 6-year-old you?
Yeah.
Can you tell me how it feels to be next to it?
It feels incredible. I still feel like that energy sensation from the light or from being the light. And when I'm next to it, I still feel that way. I guess I'm kind of concerned about what it's going to do, but at the same time, I am not worried.
Does it feel threatening in any way?
It only feels threatening because I don't know it, but I get the sense that it's not actually threatening. I mean, I feel nervous right now, like my heart's beating quickly.
Ask it to just stay still and not approach you so that you can have a little bit of time to get used to it and maybe look at it because you need time to adjust. And then see if you can describe it a little bit more to me.
The smaller one is in the middle, and behind it, I see two bigger ones. They look a lot taller than me. They're like tall and thin. That's just how they feel. The one that's like my height, its arms are kind of spindly and its face is just strange. It has bug features and big eyes. The head shape is like a praying mantis or something. I don't know, it's like that, but that's not it.
What about the extremities?
I just see thin arms and the fingers kind of look long.
Are they human looking?
Yeah, they're shaped like human arms. They're approximately the same shape. Like I said, they're extremely thin. It looks kind of strange compared to the torso. It has like a mandible on its face, like pincers almost. I don't think it really does. It's like it has a mask on, or like it's filtered somehow. This feels like whatever I said I'm not supposed to remember, I feel like this is it right here. It's like a redacted government document. It's so weird. They're just like not there, but I can almost see the space they occupy.
You'll be able to interact with them. And I want you to ask them if this decision to not be seen or not be remembered, is it on their side or on yours?
It's on their side. Feels like it's for my benefit somehow. And I feel like they even told me it would happen. And I was okay with it at the time.
And I wonder if they can remind you now why it is for your benefit.
I kind of feel like they asked me if I wanted to, and I didn't want to remember.
Why would you not want to remember them?
I don't know, because it feels like a very positive, loving experience. Remembering might not even be a bad thing, but it would cause problems somehow.
Was that a decision you made when you were a 6-year-old human?
It doesn't feel that way. I feel like I had agency in the choice, but I don't feel like I made the choice there.
Okay, so it was done prior to that?
Yeah, again, I feel like I'm in that bright light still. It just feels like it was pre-existing, like I'm just somewhere where I've been before, probably
Okay.
many times even.
Right. I wonder if you can ask them if it would be okay for you to understand a little more about their connection.
They just tell me that there's a plan or a mission, and like I know what it is when I'm in there. I know enough to trust it.
Are you part of the mission?
Yeah.
What is your part in the mission?
It feels like the bright light is more part of the mission than 6-year-old Steve is.
And become aware of what your relationship is with them.
It feels like we're extremely close. We're so close that we're practically family. And I feel like they wish they could let me know that they're there consciously. Like it hurts them too. And the one that I thought was scary, the little one, now he looks sad, like he regretted it.
Is it okay for you to allow for a greater connection?
I feel like I can see one of the tall ones. It looks like a tall blonde woman, like 6 feet tall. She looks like a human. But like when I look at her, I can just tell that she's not.
Can you describe her a little more?
Her face is really pretty. She has this very concerned look on her face, kind of like the little one. They all look sad. She looks sad. She looks like she really cares about me, but she knows that this is what has to happen. But it won't always be like that.
Ask them why they're sad.
They said because they care about me so much, and they wish they could go straight to the part where we could all reconnect. I don't think they like me having to be on this planet, like this body. It feels like they feel bad for me.
And what would it be like if you were to reconnect with them in that moment to the extent that is appropriate?
Right now, I feel like we are all connected, like we're all equally respected. We're like the A-team. There's 4 of us, and I feel like a very important part of the group.
So when you are in that state of connection, do they still look sad?
Whenever we're connected, it almost feels like we're all on the same frequency, or like we're unified or something like that. It feels like you can't hardly feel anything at all specifically. It's like some kind of existence I can't relate to.
Can you describe to me your team members?
The little one, the one who's my 6-year-old size, he just seems very serious, no nonsense, almost like scientific. The blonde woman feels spiritual or something. Like she's, I want to say angel. She's like the protector. She feels like she just knows everything. She's like the dominant one. The little one is like subservient in a way, and I don't think he really likes that, at least like in the physical form. And I think he kind of holds that against her in a way, but they get along anyway. And I know there's another one, but I can't see it. It's almost like it's not alive or robotic or something. I feel these 2 beings, like I feel more attached to them.
I want you to become aware of what you normally look like when you're with them, but not as a human.
I see this silver. I almost look metallic, but it's not. It looks like humanoid, like it has a face. It just looks very plain and symmetrical. It just looks so strange. Like it looks very alien to me.
Tell me what is different from just a human face.
I feel like I'm viewing it from a human perspective, and the feelings and the emotions aren't there. It like communicates differently. His face is like really stoic. The face doesn't have any expressiveness to it. It's not like important for that purpose. This kind of feels like a mask too, though. I'm like a layer removed from whatever is really under it. I feel like I am in that physical form in that moment for some reason. It feels like I'm combining 5 memories somehow. Not memories. It feels like I'm living like 5 moments. That doesn't make sense. I feel like I could understand it, but I can't right now.
Well, there is no time there, and you're tapping into all those experiences as they happen at the same time.
You're definitely right. There's no sense of time when I'm there. It doesn't feel like a human experience. Like I could have been with them for a billion years or like a nanosecond. It was all the same.
So now become aware, if it's appropriate, of what the mission is that brought you together.
That just feels blocked, like really blocked. I just see it like one of those government books with like a top secret, you can't look in here kind of thing on it.
Okay, and that's fine. So can you ask your team members what their role is in your life while you're in a human body?
They said they watch over me, but at least now it's hard because they can't do much without influencing how things go. So like they watch me, but it's kind of stressful for them. It's more like a latent period for them, like I'm doing something and they're waiting for me to finish doing this in my earthly form. It feels like I'm collecting something, maybe information, but it feels more substantial than that. It feels almost like I'm developing myself spiritually or something. The light is like maturing still. And for some reason, it needs to be how it happens.
How do they watch over you?
I think they visit me, and I can feel when it's going to happen. It feels like something major is about to happen. I feel like this ultimate sense of anticipation, and I keep thinking to myself, they're coming, they're coming. And then they do. Sometimes there's a lot of them. Oh man, I see a lot of them right now.
And what do they look like?
They look like these gigantic, I want to call them ships. There's so many of them, they like block out the whole sky. I don't feel like I'm on Earth right now, though.
Where are you?
Somewhere else, some planet. It looks really different. It looks dark, and whatever light source illuminates the planet is some kind of purple color, and it makes the planet look dark and purpley.
And are you living on that planet in a physical form?
I don't even know if it's a planet, actually. It's like some different plane of existence. I feel like I'm on Earth, but I'm in like another type of Earth. It's like side by side with our Earth. It's like they're all here, but we can't see them.
And they come in physical ships?
When you can see them, they look physical, so I guess they must be. They look very physical. They look huge and extremely heavy, and like they would take some kind of industrial effort that like we couldn't fathom. I mean, they can cover the whole sky if they want to.
With one ship or multiple?
Oh, I see a lot of ships. There are some like huge ships though, but a lot of them are heavily occupied. They're not all the same, like different species.
What do the ships look like?
They just look very blocky and angular. If you just imagine like a skyscraper on its side and put it in orbit and make it huge, maybe like a little flatter, but like that's kind of what they all look like. And I don't see any kind of propulsion or anything. They just kind of float. Even though there's so many of them, it's like they're all perfectly synchronized somehow. Like they don't run into each other. They're not even worried about that.
And do they all travel together?
It doesn't seem like they have to, but a lot of times they do.
And they carry all different species of beings?
Yeah, but it seems like they're a unified force. And I feel like there are a lot of other beings. These are just maybe 3 or 4 like main species or something. I feel so excited when they're here. Like I want to turn to everyone and be like, look, they're here for us or with us.
Are you aware when they're here?
I am right now.
Okay. So you said before there is a unifying force. What did you mean by that?
Well, it feels like they don't necessarily have to be like one unifying force. It feels like this is just a federation, like a few groups agree to work together and they're very powerful and influential. And remember I mentioned the little one that was more physical and scientific. It feels kind of like they combine those approaches of material sciences with some kind of like enlightened existence. And that's how they accomplish what they accomplish, I guess. And the way they can manipulate reality, it just doesn't even seem possible to us. Humans can't imagine this yet. But like, I know it's possible. I've seen it.
I'm going to come back to them in a second, but I just want to ask you, you said that your mission here has to do with exploring spirituality. Some of them work with material side of it, some with spiritual side. So are you developing skills that will be used within that spiritual side?
Yeah, I feel like I'm developing spiritual skills. This body, as it is on Earth, is like a very limited physical existence. But we can slowly cultivate a more spiritual existence that transcends dimensions or something.
So let's go back to those ships. Describe, if you can, the main species that are there. You said there are about 3 or 4.
I think I see all 3 of the beings that were with me now. And I think those are like the 3 main species. There's blonde humanoid species. Not all of them look superhuman, but a lot of them look superhuman. And those can interact with us more freely. It's just kind of a benefit they happen to have because we can't tell them apart. But not all of them look so convincing. And then I see the little gray aliens like you'd see in movies or something. And that was the little one that was in front of me. It wasn't an insect. The insect was to the right of me and it was taller. And it was like a praying mantis. But I still feel like there's something metallic too. There's like 4 species. Maybe the 4th one is my species. It feels like it's the 4 of us. It almost feels like human bodies we're not like actual real creatures. We're just like fleshy spacesuits.
Do you come to Earth multiple times, or is it one journey here?
I feel like I've been here multiple times, but I can only ever remember one time. And I feel like I only know I've been here multiple times because I kind of know the process. But as a human, I can't know that. When I'm a human, I'm supposed to just be here once in that body, I guess. Well, it feels like most of you isn't even in the body. It feels like you're everywhere. And the body is just like somewhere you also happen to be.
Become aware of any other significant information that you need to tap into about that connection, about your team, about your experience.
They say that I know what I need to know. And I feel like I don't like that answer.
The other times in your life when you have seen either UFOs or lights and you may not even remember them, was it always them, or are there other experiences that happen to you that are not related to them?
I don't think it's ever anyone else. If there are, it wouldn't be important to them. It'd be like maintenance somehow.
Okay. So are you still in that purple-looking world?
Yeah.
Do you have a deeper understanding of what that is?
It feels like an alternate Earth. It feels like things that could exist but just don't. It feels like this is something that actually happened on that Earth, and it could happen on ours.
On that alternate Earth, what is the impact of all of those ships on the humans?
I don't even know if they're like humans. It almost feels like my human body now, but I feel like I was some other body. Maybe like a different life or something. I was a physical being and I didn't know anything, kind of like I do now. I had like the exact same limited knowledge, but that version of me got to experience that event.
So what was the impact of their presence on the people?
It like changed everything. Everything was just different suddenly. We went from this limited Earth experience and then suddenly it's like practically limitless. But it feels like they're totally at the mercy of these beings. And it feels like there's a lot of fear, especially at first, because they realize they have no control over the beings that are visiting. And they're used to having control, or they feel like they're used to having control, but they never really did.
And what is the mission of those visiting?
It's almost like a huge introduction. It's not like they're here to take our planet. It's more like they have some criteria where they decide we're ready for them, and then they bring us to them. And it feels almost like we're bound to this physical existence, and they come, and then we're relieved somehow.
As you move forward in time within that timeline on that purple planet, how do things progress?
It feels like you can't move forward on the purple planet. It feels almost like that's the very end of it. It feels like they moved it almost to save the planet. Like they were going to destroy themselves, and we had to move in. I think that's partly why it looks purple. It feels poison.
So do they help?
Yeah, they're there to help. And when I see them from the physical perspective of a being on that planet, I immediately know that they're there to help. And others don't necessarily know that, but I know that. That's why I'm so excited. And I'm trying to get people to look and to accept them, I guess.
So let's come back to this Earth experience. Is there anything here that you need to know? Since they can't really connect consciously with you, this is their opportunity to actually give you a message.
I feel like they're laughing at me.
Why?
Because they know that I ask this a lot, and we're all friends, and we just laugh. And the part of me that knows what's going on is laughing with them. They won't tell this body anything. I feel like I know everything that I want to know, but I've limited myself so effectively. Like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I think humans just wonder about this stuff.
Okay. You're going to experience yourself returning to your room that night, and you have that light shining from within, and become aware of anything else of significance that happens in that room or outside of that room. Just tell me what comes to you.
We're back in the room, and the room is still illuminated by the forehead thing. And I feel like Rob is frozen still. And now other beings in there are getting ready to leave. I still kind of know what's going on, but I feel like I'm starting to forget. And I'm becoming the 6-year-old again. 7 or 8, actually.
So they were physically in the room with you?
In that moment, they were. But again, it felt more like the maintenance team. My friends had already gone, and this was the team that ties the bow, and they're like, all right, you're good to go, buddy.
So what does the maintenance team do?
They're like engineers.
What is their task?
I guess just to return me to the body and to make sure it's a seamless transition. It's like I just went from a point in time to another point in time, and they made sure that it felt seamless.
Were you out of your body traveling to where they are, or did they come to where you are?
They came to me first, and then they pulled me to where they are. And that's where we convened for a bit. And that's what I am not allowed to talk about. And then they brought me back. Well, it's more like they pushed me back, and I kind of came with the maintenance team.
And is it the maintenance team that did something to Rob?
Yeah, before he was frozen, they were already in there. They were in the darkness before the light even illuminated. I don't know why I couldn't see them, but like they were already there, and then they did something to him, like something physical even. But I couldn't see them while they were doing it. I just know that's what they did.
Is Rob allowed to retain the memory of the lights, of the things that he saw before?
No, he's not allowed. He doesn't remember anything. I don't think he was supposed to even see the ship. It's like the only reason he saw it was so I could see it, and then he was not allowed to see it anymore.
After that, do they leave, or does anything else occur that night?
No, nothing else happens. They're just gone, and Rob is normal. Yeah, we talked about aliens and how they'd have alien technologies. And the next morning, I was telling my parents about what we saw, and Rob insisted that it didn't happen. And I remember I was really upset. And I drew a picture the next morning. I drew a picture of the pattern on the back of the ship.
When he was frozen, you said it was seamless. Are you saying that no time passed?
I think like a little time passed. The human me wasn't aware of the time, so I didn't notice. Not as much time passed as should have passed, considering how much we did when I was gone, but like some time passed. It felt like we were talking at first when he woke me up, and then he just stopped talking, and I looked over, and he was frozen, and it's like I realized the room had been light the whole time, and I just couldn't tell. There had always been the thing in my forehead. I just couldn't perceive it. But it was there, and it was like comforting me immediately, and then I was pulled out.
Become aware of the experience when you saw the bear standing and beckoning towards him. And I want you to just find yourself in that experience and tell me what happened.
I feel like I'm standing in my parents' bathtub and I'm looking out their big window. I had to stand in the bathtub to see out the window. And I was worried my parents would wake up, but I knew they wouldn't wake up. It was like the whole world was frozen. And I went to the window and I looked down and it was just looking up at me. I don't think it actually like moved or anything. It was almost like a placeholder for something else. And I guess I just like bears and trains. It's just looking up at me. It might not even be looking at me, but I'm looking at it and I can just tell that it wants me to come downstairs and it wants me to come outside. So all of a sudden I'm by the glass door and I don't remember actually going through my house. It's like I teleported. All of a sudden I'm at the sliding glass door in our basement and the bear is right outside the door. Oh my God. He's like right outside. He's just staring at me. It's like a horror movie. But I don't feel scared at all. I'm so excited.
Now become aware what age you are at that point.
4 or 5. I was in my little kid bedroom still.
Now just become aware if this bear or the placeholder of a bear stands for the same beings that you connected with before.
I know for a fact that that is not a bear. It doesn't feel like the same being, though. It feels similar, but it doesn't feel like those individuals. But it feels like the light again.
Does it feel familiar?
Yeah.
Do you go somewhere with this being?
Yeah, it took me in the backyard, but I don't remember actually walking anywhere. And we're just standing there in the dark. I feel the grass on my feet, and it feels warm outside, and it's springtime.
Are you wearing anything on your feet?
No, there's nothing on my feet. I'm wearing pajamas. I don't feel cold or anything. I don't really feel warm either. I don't really feel like regular sensations. It almost feels like I'm somewhere else. It's like I'm in the same environment, but there's some kind of subtle shift.
So become aware of where you are that is somewhere else.
I know what it is. I just can't describe it.
Is it a physical place?
No, it's not physical. It feels almost like I've entered a new dimension or something. I'm accessing some different plane of existence, and it feels more like spiritual or mental, and it's very real. It's as real as you talking to me. And it feels like there's all kinds of life and beings in this realm too. You can be in this realm and see our environment, I think is the best way to put it.
Our environment, meaning Earth?
Yeah. So they can be here and we can't normally see them,
Okay.
but they can interact with our environment. And now I'm on their plane of reality and I can see the environment, but it's different. Everything's frozen. It's like time has stopped. And I think time has actually stopped. Wherever we are, they can maneuver through time.
So time is a dimension that they
Yes.
work with.
Yes. It feels very clear to me that it's a dimensional shift. But like I said, I can still see our reality. I don't know if I can even interact with our reality, though, because I don't think I actually went through the door. It was just kind of like I skipped places. And the whole time it feels like I'm being pulled towards something. Maybe not even the bear, but like something behind the bear.
So once you shift there, is the bear or the being that is the bear with you there?
Yeah, the bear's here with me in the other dimension. I've been in the other dimension this whole time. Like as soon as I woke up and I was being beckoned, I was already somewhere else.
Okay, explain that again.
Well, I don't even think I ever really woke up. If I would have looked at my bed, I still would have been there.
So your body was still in bed?
I want to say yes. I think I thought I was in my body, but I don't think I was. It
But
feels like I am in my body, though. I feel like I'm in my pajamas, unless that's like part of the illusion somehow. It feels like as soon as I'm out of my bed, I'm in this new dimension. And that's why I could go through my parents' room without them perceiving me at all. And that's how I knew they wouldn't perceive me because we weren't even capable of interacting at that moment.
So what happens when you're in that other dimension?
Well, the bear pulls me outside, and I'm kind of just surveying the environment around me. And it just feels like it's teeming with life and energy. And the bear feels like this guardian. He feels loving or like my friend in a way. He's a lot bigger than me, like way bigger than me. He might be like 7 to 10 feet tall. If I were actually in that circumstance, I would be terrified, but I don't feel scared. I just feel excited and like I know something's about to happen.
Is he communicating with you still?
He is, but I can't tell what the message is now. Like it was very clear when he wanted me to come outside. It was almost like he's introducing himself. I feel like I've known him for a long time, but the little kid self is meeting it for the first time. So I have like this weird, confused sense of recognizing and something being totally novel. But ultimately, I just feel comforted and safe.
We're going to do a couple of things. One, imagine that you're turning a dial on a transmitter to increase the level of clarity of the communication. So the things that this being communicates to you will become clearer. You will just begin to perceive the communication much better. And the second thing I'd like you to do is to ask this being why it selected this particular appearance and if it's time for it to reveal what it actually looks like.
Okay. So when I try the transmitter thing, I feel the message very clearly. It feels like I took a hazy radio signal and tuned it in somehow. It's just telling me that it's taking me and we're going somewhere.
How do you feel
And
about that?
I feel great. Oh, I know why it's a bear. Because I loved Winnie the Pooh and I love trains. So I think it was supposed to be like Winnie the Pooh wearing a train outfit, but the bear looks real, so it just looks really absurd.
Is it going to remain in that form?
No, definitely not. It was just a way of presenting itself in a form that was more acceptable to me.
So it didn't realize that you liked a very specific type of bear?
Yeah, it felt like it tried its best, but it couldn't. A real looking bear. It's a lot different than Winnie the Pooh.
So what happens next?
It feels like we go somewhere far away, really far away.
How do you go there?
We just teleport. I can feel us moving through space and time. It feels like we're moving, but it's like, I think it's instantaneous. I think that's just my human brain trying to make sense of traveling instantly. In this mental dimension, especially because time is something they can maneuver, we can do things like that. And we went somewhere extremely far away, somewhere in outer space. And it feels like a mission briefing or something.
Describe to me what's there.
I can't see anything. It feels more like I'm feeling things. It doesn't really feel like where I am, sight is really a sense that they need so much.
Yeah, you don't have to see anything. Just tell me what you're experiencing.
Well, it seems like there's more than one. It's like a team. If there is one, it's like representing a lot of them. And they're telling me that this is the beginning of the mission. Not mission. They're not saying mission. The process? I don't know. I feel part of them, though. Like I feel like they're just kind of catching me up.
As they speak, just allow the words to flow through you.
They're saying this is the first time of many. And they're just introducing me to the concept of what it feels like to be pulled out and to travel because we're going to do it a lot. And it feels exactly like how it felt when I was pulled out of the room when I saw the UFO. And when that happened, I felt so used to that because I had already done it. The bear was the first time, and they're telling me that this is going to happen a lot more. We're working together, and this is how it's going to be from now on. And I'm super excited to hear that because I feel lucky to be there, and not everyone gets to do that.
Do you recognize them?
At the time, I would say no. I see the beings, and there's a lot of them, like too many. It's hard to see like their physical form. I don't even know if they have a physical form. It's more just like I feel their presence. And the bear was like all of them at once. Like the bear wasn't one thing. That's why it felt so powerful, because it's like a whole consciousness that's being tuned in like a radio signal. It just feels like this pervasive force that's always there, and it's like everywhere, even right now. It's here right now. I just have to say this. I feel so happy suddenly realizing that it's always there. I feel more that I'm where I'm supposed to be when I'm tuned into them than when I'm doing regular human things.
I'd like to hear their description of who they are. It might be easier for them to describe themselves.
When you ask that, they just laugh. They think it's funny when we try to figure things out because it's so basic. It's like watching ants try to do physics or something. You're just like, wow, they'll never get this.
Well, I apologize in advance for.
No, it's like a loving laugh. They love you too. They love all of us. It's like when a little kid says something cute and you're like, oh, they're doing their best, you know?
We're doing our best. So, what can they tell us that our little brains can understand?
They're saying we expect some kind of answer to be generated that just makes sense of things, and they say that there just isn't one.
Can they help us understand what your work was going to be? Since that was the first meeting, what was going to happen after that?
Well, first, after they said that, I told them that that sounded like a very generic response, and I feel like they should be able to do better than that. Now they're not laughing. Now they're kind of annoyed that I said that. They just expected that they could say that, and I would just accept it, but I don't. And I don't think they really like that. What was the question you asked me?
Well, what is the task or the mission or the work that you're going to be involved in? What is the connection between you and them?
They're telling me that right now I'm going through some kind of awakening, and it's been dormant for a long time. Like my whole life has been a bear in a train suit. They've left these crumbs, and sometimes I acknowledge them and sometimes I don't. And now it's really picked up a lot of momentum. And even right now, this is what we're supposed to be doing. And this is part of me waking up. It's always been there internally, but now my human mind is also becoming aware. And there's going to be an event or instructions coming, something important. I see like the redacted government document, and they're like, you're going to see this soon. Just hold on a second. They're saying I've been holding on for a very long time. I'm 30 years old. It's been far longer than that. 30 years is nothing. 30 years could have just passed right now. It's nothing. I feel like they're kind of frustrated still, like one in particular.
So they will have to begin to respond, even if they have to talk to us at a very childlike level. They have to explain what they're frustrated with, and what is it that we need to know, and what is it that we don't get.
They're not all frustrated. The more spiritual beings, they're infinitely tolerant. But there's other beings that are less spiritual in nature, like more physical like us, and they kind of have more recognizable minds like us. I don't know, it feels incredible. Like all the answers are already there, and we just need to filter it properly. And it's like, I've known this the whole time, and it's so exciting to think about.
And I understand that all the answers are already there. And I understand that we're taking something that's incredibly complex and multidimensional and trying to linearize it. But for a human brain, it helps to just break things down. So can they please help us understand what work?
They're answering you. Their language is just abrupt. Like this one is saying, he just sounds annoyed. Since you insist on a response, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to just be a good person and keep spiritually unfolding, and it's just not a satisfying response.
Okay, well, let me ask them something completely different. What is my role in Steve's unfolding or awakening path?
They're saying that there's not a specific goal that we're supposed to accomplish, but first of all, they're saying that your work is what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know if they just say that to everybody, but we are accomplishing a lot right now. We're spiritually awakening right now. And it's kind of like if I'm waking up, you're waking up. And if you're waking up, I'm waking up. And we're kind of waking up together.
Can I ask them if they're just spirit or if they are also in a physical form?
I'm talking to one in particular right now, the blonde woman, the spiritual one. She's the one who's in my dreams.
She's part of your team, right?
Yeah, she was part of my team. I see her in a whole bunch of my dreams, and she always tells me things like this. I don't know, whenever she says it, it sounds more concrete. And then when I try to convey to you, it just sounds flimsy in general. But when she tells me about it, it sounds like the most important thing in the world. Like humans are destined for this spiritual enlightenment, and we're confined to this existence. And I'm not really sure how we got here, but they don't want us to stay like this. They want us to join them in their existence, but not like we're assimilated, like we're contributing, like we're something kind of new, and they're excited to have us with them as equals. It doesn't feel like we're actually equals. It feels like they're just really loving and they're propping us up a little bit for now, but eventually we could be equals once we're as developed as them. I think they're more just trying to convey the infinite potential that we have. And she just makes me feel so loved. This is what people say, like they feel God or something.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not like saying she's a god or anything. In fact, she's strongly opposed to that language. She's really important to me. There's like a whole consciousness, at least for her people, and she's like a tendril that's connected to this internal mass, one of countless. But she's like really close with me specifically. She tells me that there are those who are like her who have similar relationships with humans. She's asking me, have you ever seen a blonde person in your dream?
Me?
Yeah.
Not that I can recall.
She says that's interesting.
What is interesting about it?
She just said that she thought you would say yes. She says like it might be there and it might be like a background character that you haven't even noticed yet. I don't know. Look out for a blonde man. Yeah, it might be in your life though. It might not be a dream for you. That's just what she said.
Okay. So what is your connection with them?
Well, it feels like there's different kinds of connections. I feel like a physical connection and then a spiritual connection. And it feels like they're pulling in different directions almost. It's like we're in this confused state of existence where we're locked in right now. It doesn't feel like a very good existence. As humans, we suffer and we're fleshy and we're mean.
So let me ask if they're willing to answer this. Why did you go into human experience?
So she said humans were going to exist anyway. It's more interesting that the consciousness interacts with biological systems. So I don't know how humans got here necessarily, but our conscious experience is what makes us interesting and capable of taking humanity to their level. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me.
It's okay, don't worry about it. So is their intention to help humanity go into a higher level of consciousness?
Yeah, but she says these are all very human terms. I don't even think there's like language to convey what they're trying to accomplish. Our minds are just so inherently limited that our very existence prevents us from truly understanding. We can kind of get like vague senses.
I'd like to get a vague sense right now. I understand that we cannot comprehend the fullness of creation, but I'd like to get a little bit closer to it. So, why did you enter human experience?
She's trying to get us to understand that humans would be here regardless. They're acknowledging that we do exist and that we have the potential to become something more, but they're concerned that we're going to reject it. We choose to reject it without really realizing it by focusing on pleasures and things that don't amount to anything. That's what she's saying. She just says it's not the answer that you probably want to hear, but it's truthful.
So, my understanding was that Earth is kind of laboratory right now, that it's a planet of free choice and we're testing energy on it, and we're seeing how far energy can stretch when you have free choice, and what choices beings will make when they can walk away from the creator, from the source.
Whenever you were saying that, she was smiling and she seems like she's very happy with your interpretation. I think that she doesn't think that most people really have the capacity to see it as intricately as you do, but that's what she was trying to convey to me. Like you said, we have the choice, and she kind of fears that our choice will be to limit ourselves to physical existence and we're perpetually squabbling, versus what she wants for us, their life. They don't suffer. They're not constrained by physical dimensions. In fact, they choose to be physical and they can not be physical too. And we're just limited.
It sounds like they have a pretty pessimistic view of humans. So what are they here to do then?
She says it's not pessimistic at all. She says she understands why you said that, but she says part of that is just how I'm explaining it. And if she could have her way, I think she'd rather just talk to you directly. I think that she thinks that you're more spiritually prepared than I am right now. But she says that she's extremely optimistic about humanity. In fact, she feels confident that we'll go down the right path, but she feels like it's possible that we won't. And she just doesn't like that possibility at all because they just care for us so much. I think they just kind of care for everything that exists. Like they care for us as much as they care for a rock outside. I mean, we hear that and we're like, oh, I'm better than a rock. But she's like, you just don't get it.
Well, the possibility for everything exists. That's why we have free choice. But isn't our potential for a higher level of consciousness growing?
She says yes. She says she wants you to like expand on that more. She wants you to think through it because she's like excited to listen to you talk about it.
Okay.
She says just humor her and say a little more if you could.
Well, my understanding is that when a certain percentage of the overall population on the planet reaches a threshold level of consciousness, then the whole planet will be pulled towards higher level of consciousness. It's not even the majority of the population, but a certain percentage. It's not that everyone will be at the same level, but we will sort of walk through that threshold. And once we get through that threshold, we'll keep going forward. We won't be able to go backwards from there.
Well, she's saying that conceptually she agrees with a lot of what you're saying, but we don't really consider countless realities. So, for example, like a human who exists on our Earth doesn't exist on another Earth. So it's kind of like, which reality are you considering? And she's considering many realities. So she says, like, to an extent, you are correct. She says that if that's the way of thinking that you're electing to go with for now, it will be serviceable and it'll help you move in the right direction.
So would it be accurate if we only consider the Earth that we are experiencing right now?
Yeah. She says that it's good to consider alternatives, but she said considering our limited nature, we can really only consider the reality that we happen to be presented with. Although she makes it sound like we move between realities, maybe without even realizing it, but our perspective is so linear and narrow that it just feels like one. Oh, I feel like she just conveyed something to me that I'm having trouble conveying to you, but internally I can.
Slow down and allow it to unfold into linear thought.
Well, she's saying that it's difficult because just inherently linear thought can't convey the reality of things, but she's just saying that, like you said, we can only consider this Earth as we are capable of perceiving it. So we have to treat it as though that's reality, even though the real reality is far more complicated. She said there's realities of countless possibilities, and sometimes they interact with each other even. Like sometimes they kind of synchronize in such a way where 2 or even 3 realities can intersect for a second. And then sometimes once they break apart, things from one reality might be left in another reality.
Is it possible, or is it even more likely, that the Earth that we're experiencing right now is going to go into expanded consciousness, but there are other Earths that will not?
Yeah, for sure. But she said our human mind would consider it a matter of probabilities. I don't really know what she means by that. Like, you can't assume that we'll move in the right direction because it is possible that we won't, but they're very good at what they do. And we would really have to make a strong effort to resist. And by then, we'd probably be destroying ourselves. And she says that's pretty unlikely, especially considering the other beings that exist in our dimension that are more physical, who are also aligned with how they see things. And they've been interacting with humans on a physical sense for pretty much the entire time that the Earth has existed. They're present for certain events that are impactful, especially if they're detrimental to the whole planet. She seems very concerned right now. We're kind of in a not so great place, but she feels confident that we'll move in a good direction. She just thinks right now we need a little help.
What is concerning her?
She just says the harm that we inflict upon each other and the values we have are just very short-sighted right now. We pursue things that are momentarily satisfying, and she says a lot of people feel like they've already finished developing in a sense. She said that when they gave us potential for nuclear power, for example, they gave us this energy that could have propelled us to expand ourselves a long time ago. And we took that energy and made it into something destructive, and that others have used it for energy purposes, but even those people are controlling it on our planet. So we're not really benefiting from what they gave us. And she said stuff like that is stuff that could have gone better. And the destructive potential, like we could destroy our planet with the press of a button. And it's like too much power for certain people to have, especially considering how confined we are right now.
So I want to clarify the phrase gave us.
Yeah, she said that sometimes they'll just leave technology for us to find. UFO crashes are an example. They crash on purpose so we can recover technologies and get exposed to them. But she said her people can more spiritually interject. Like, I see her in my dreams and she gives me ideas. She said it's so perfectly assimilated in your brain that it doesn't feel like it's from an outside source. It just feels like thoughts that you've generated. And then people take that and they create things, but ultimately we choose what we do with these thoughts.
Thank you. So I know I keep asking the same question, but I want to understand the part that Steve, as human, plays within this bigger picture.
I don't know. We're just kind of like staring at each other.
Is that information not available for us?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm losing her. It's like I have a fuzzy connection. I kind of wonder if she's trying to get out of it. Like, oh, I'm going through a tunnel. She laughed when I said that. I feel like she is here. She's just said what she needs to say.
That's fine. She can step back. Wonder if there's somebody else that can provide any clarity. And I can rephrase the question. Is Steve doing what he needs to do to fulfill his mission or purpose here in this life?
She says that it's important to consider that our mission spans many lives. So sometimes a single life could yield what feels like very little from a human perspective. But if you consider the countless number of lives and how all of the lives contribute to each other, it's like looking at a droplet of water in the ocean and being like, what significance do you have? But then you consider the whole ocean and everything in it. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense to me. She talks about oceans a lot. Even in my dreams, she's always taking me to oceans.
Yeah, I use that analogy too. But humans are concerned about doing what we're supposed to do and doing it well. And I understand that those are very limited ways of looking at things and that there is no judgment about which way we go. So let me ask this. Is he well aligned with his higher self's mission? Is he on the right track?
Yeah, she says yes. That was one of the questions that you asked, and she smiled real big again. She feels very happy with my progress, and she likes a lot of the choices I've made. And some of the choices she doesn't really like that I've made, but she thinks that they were good to learn from. Again, she's emphasizing the difference between and things that we could value within one life versus the values you might have if you consider everything. It's like comparing an electron to a planet. They're both important in their own ways. She says from a human level, she likes what I'm doing. Spiritually, she says I'm catching on. I kind of get the sense that she thought it would happen earlier even, But she says to remember that there's other realities. Some are sooner, some are later, but she's happy with how this one's going. I don't know if she watches other realities or if she's just aware of them, but she seems very focused on me in particular.
Can I ask why that is?
She just says that we're linked. We're like bound.
Why? Not why, but in what way?
Whenever you said why, she laughed again.
Yeah, no, forget
says,
that.
she says she thinks that you get it, but there's not like a why are we linked. We just are. My connection with her is more personal. Feels almost like a romantic connection somehow. And I don't know if I'm just misinterpreting that.
Are you two a twin flame where you're kind of two
That's
sides
what
of
she's.
the same coin?
Yeah, that's what she's told me in dreams before. She uses the concept of soulmates to make sense of it, but it's not like our human conceptualization. She's telling me to use this because this makes sense to me. But in quantum physics, you can entangle particles.
Mm-hmm.
And when the particles are infinite distances apart, they're still entangled, and you can affect one particle and the other particle will immediately react to it. She said it's like that. We're intertwined on that level. Like we could be anywhere, any dimension, any place in space, time, and we're linked. And she has her own life. She has things that she cares about and people she cares about. I feel really weird right now. My head is spinning. I don't know what's happening.
So are you one soul, masculine, feminine?
She said it's not a matter of masculine, feminine. She said it's kind of like one soul, but that's not quite it. Like she is her own thing and I'm kind of my own thing. But she says it's one of those things that it's hard for humans to make sense of. We look at things and we think that they're distinguished and they're not. I feel like she's saying things that I'm just like not making sense. And she's kind of just like, that's okay, buddy. You're doing your best.
Do the two of you, and I understand that two may also be a very linear way of thinking about it, but do the two of you ever come into physical life together?
No. She said that she visits me in my dreams because she likes seeing me in a form that kind of feels physical. Because in my dreams, I tend to take a physical form. She just enjoys talking to me and she'll show me things that help me in my life or just things that she thinks I'd enjoy. Like one time we went on a Star Wars adventure together and she said that was for fun. And the whole team was there for that, by the way. But she said they were just kind of characters in the dream, but she was really there.
Who are the other members of the team? What is their relationship to both of you?
Well, I see a little guy and he kind of looks like a gray alien. He's like so serious that it's kind of funny. And I feel like I've laughed at him before and he appreciates that I laugh at him sometimes because he knows that he takes himself too seriously. And he's like more physical based. He said earlier you described the earth as being experimental of sorts. And that's how he sees things, more like data collection. He acknowledges the spiritual side of things, but he chooses to focus on physical things. I think he's kind of human in that way. His species is satisfied by such things, but they also have a spiritual component. Well, they seem more psychic. Well, he's saying psychic is physical, but for us, it seems like a different thing. It's like we have less senses than them almost.
So what does it look like for them?
Just the way they communicate. For example, a lot of their technology is consciousness based, and it's not even their consciousness is commanding it. It's like it has its own consciousness. They just intertwine almost, and a lot of their tactics they use when they're interacting with humans are psychic. He says if we have their technology, sometimes we can't make sense of it because it's consciousness based and we try to approach it from a human perspective. That's all he said.
Okay. What about the fourth member?
Well, it's like a little bug. There's a praying mantis guy and he's really big. And he just stands there. I don't think I've had him say anything to me this whole time. He still seems like my friend, like he's part of the team, but I don't know what he does.
You can address him and actually ask him.
I feel intimidated by him. I feel like he's not necessarily intimidating, but even right now I can hear him. And I've never heard him before, and he sounds a lot different than I thought. Imagine a praying mantis sounding wise and his voice is deep and he sounds calming when he talks. I can't really get a sense of emotions. He doesn't have emotions that make sense to me. He's just speaking. I don't think he's actually talking. I think it's psychic. I think it's just like a pleasant sounding voice for me. So I get the sense that they're deeply psychic beings too. I think they're all part of the same group because they all communicate in the same capacities. And I think humanity is the next species that they're trying to elevate to that status of psychic consciousness. The little gray guy seems like he's not too impressed with our efforts. The woman seems optimistic, but the little gray guy seems like humans are idiots. They'll do what they do, whatever. There's also like a little bug. He's even shorter than the gray guy, and I've never seen him before. He might be like a maintenance worker. I'm kind of confused by him.
So what did the mantis say?
I don't remember.
Because you said he sounded wise.
He didn't say anything wise. It's like his tone was that you'd associate with someone who's wise and matured and who, when they speak, they're just confident in what they have to say. They can articulate themselves very clearly and eloquently. But he didn't really say that much. I feel like I just described him with more words than he actually said. I see his face right now, and he's just kind of staring at me.
So is the woman still there?
Yeah, she's there. She's been there the whole time.
Can you ask her to give you a clearer understanding of all the team members?
Well, she said, first of all, stop calling him a praying mantis. She said he doesn't really care for that. That hadn't occurred to me before, so I'm sorry about that, I guess.
What does he call himself?
I can see the words, but it looks stupid. Like, it doesn't look like a real word. The word they're showing me is in English. AKKO, maybe NYL. I can't see the whole word. It's like the transceiver's fuzzy.
Can she say it to you?
It sounds like she's saying like a conal sense. That doesn't even sound like a real word. I don't know if that's like a planet or like a... Well, she said it's like the species. I don't know.
Okay. And do they come from a physical planet?
Yeah. The planet they came from is extremely far away. It kind of seems like they gave their technology to the gray guys. Like, I thought the grays were older, but I'm just going to call them a praying mantis. I'm sorry. The praying mantis seems like they're super old, but they seem very physical based, but they're super psychic. Like, the grays are kind of like 50-50, but the praying mantis is almost entirely psychic. Like, if you were standing next to him, you would just like hear his thoughts in your head, and that's it. Oh, he's like the bear. Is he the bear? He doesn't move. He's there, but he doesn't move. And it's awkward and weird and almost looks unreal.
Why is he with you?
They have a lot of wisdom because they're physical too. They can convey wisdom that helps us navigate this life while we're in primarily physical form. He's like an overseer or like a supervisor somehow. Although the blonde woman seems to be the leader ultimately, but in his mind, the praying mantis should be the leader because they're so old and whatnot.
I'd like to ask the Connell sense. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but...
Wait, time out. I don't think he wants you to ask him anything. Go ahead. It's not like he's annoyed. He's just like, I don't talk to this person.
Well, whoever can answer this.
The blonde lady will answer.
Okay. Does the home planet of their race have different physics than Earth?
Yeah, he says that there's different pocket universes. He sounds very forthcoming with this, considering he didn't want to talk a second ago. But he said there's like different pocket universes. Every pocket universe has its own roles, and some universes just collapse immediately because of how they happen to be built. And different universes can end up interacting, kind of like what the blonde lady said earlier. So their universe is more, the physical laws are a little different, but they're very similar. And I guess they have a way to move between universes. Not dimensions, like dimensions are within one universe, but he can move within universes. The universes are like bubbles. They come off like a central bubble, and the new universe can sprout, and it has its own set of laws. He's even shown me the planet a little bit, and the geometry of it just looks wrong somehow. It just doesn't make sense to me. Things are too big and shapeless. They almost look like natural structures, but they're not.
Is that the difference? Can he give us an example of the differences in physics?
He said, for example, the physical forces connecting molecules are different. Everything's just tuned different, and it just leads to different structures or realities or something. He said it's all different. He said you should deduce the examples yourself just based on that fact.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate him talking to me. Is there anything else that they want to share with us about your connection with them or your work on this planet?
Well, the other ones are gone now. I don't really get the sense that they wanted to stick around. The blonde lady's still here. By the way, in my dreams, she always tells me her name is Jessica, and I feel like that's probably not her real name, but she's still here. I feel like she's always there, basically.
Ask her why Jessica, why that name?
She said it's a pleasant sounding name and kind of similar to her real name. I feel like she's saying the name, but I can't make those sounds. And it's not quite similar to Jessica, but I could see enough of the overlap. Like it kind of has a sound at the beginning that sounds J-ish. She just says call her Jessica. It's easier that way.
Is there anything else of significance that happens after you connect with the team members?
The bear incident.
Right. Once you shift to that space that's not physical.
It felt like wherever we are, it doesn't feel like we're in a physical place at all. And it's like a demonstration of ability. This is how it feels to be moved. This is a place that you might go. He just took me somewhere and was like, this is what we do. This is what we're going to do from now on. I just want to show you that it's not that bad. It's not scary. There's nothing to fear. If anything, you'll look forward to this happening more. And in case you ever remember it this way, you won't be afraid because you've already done it. But I don't think I'm meant to remember most of the times that I'm taken.
So what happens after he...
Just brings me back and goes on his way.
So does he still look like the bear?
When he brings me back, he doesn't look like the bear, but I can't see what he looks like. I think he might be the praying mantis guy, but I can't actually see that, so I'm not going to say that. They have the same size and they have the same energy. It's calming and wise and it's like, we know how to do it. Just trust the process.
As he brings you back, where do you find yourself?
I'm just back in my bed.
And what does he do?
He's just gone.
Allow those images to fade away. And you're going to
another
experience yourself
significant
being
experience,
gently
anywhere
to
over
another
time,
time
you
and
will
another
just
place.
become
That can
aware of
provide
what
wisdom
down
and
this
information
helpful
that can just be
Now, as
towards
you're
moving,
moving,
drifting and
to
floating,
clear to
drifting. Tell me what you see or experience as you reach the surface.
I see like a very clear environment around me, but it's just me there. I kind of get the sense that there might be someone in the vicinity. I'm on a big grassy field, shorter grass, and there's a forest behind me, and there's a clear stream next to me, and I have my hand in the water. It just feels extremely peaceful.
So look down at your feet and tell me what you're wearing on your feet.
Barefoot again.
Become aware of what you're wearing on your body.
Wearing like jeans, denim, and there's a very plain shirt. They look like overalls. I would never wear overalls in real life, but apparently now I do. It looks almost like a farmer's attire or something. Simple and humble.
Are you in a male or female body?
I think it's female, actually. I thought it was male at first, but I think that's just what I expected.
Young or old?
Young, maybe like early 20s.
Are you healthy?
Oh, yeah. I feel very healthy.
As you bring your attention back to your environment and your surroundings, become aware of anything else that's significant that you didn't notice before.
I feel like I'm in love or something. I just feel extremely content. I think I did come with someone and they're like in the forest doing something. Maybe we're like having a picnic.
Is that the person you're in love with?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's a man, so I feel weird right now.
So he'll come out of the forest.
Well, right now I'm in the forest because he wanted to show me this natural waterfall in the forest. And he's just like, hey, isn't this pretty? You want to have the picnic here? And I'm like, maybe. I kind of like our usual spot, but this is nice.
What is he dressed like?
He's wearing what I'm wearing. Looks like a unisex outfit. But his wearing like a more conventional sort of long sleeve shirt or something. It's like loose and blows in the wind a little bit. He just looks very comfortable. I mean, he looks like he feels comfortable with me. I think I might be a little older than I thought we were, maybe mid 30s. I feel like I've known him for a while and we have an established history together. I feel like he really loves me and I love him.
Are you married?
Yeah, it feels like we're married. I don't think we have kids or anything. It kind of feels like we want to have kids though.
So on the count of 3, you will see yourself standing in front of a place where you live. 1, 2, and 3. Tell me what you're experiencing.
It looks like a little cottage almost. And there's like a hill behind it. And then if you go and stand on the hill, it just kind of drops off. And looks like an ocean or something. We're in like a really beautiful place. We feel lucky to be there and we're like self-sufficient, but there's like a town nearby and we have friends and we socialize, but we really value retiring by ourselves, but it's kind of getting lonely and I want a kid now. It's a really pleasant climate. It's 70s. The wind feels like there's an ocean. I probably should have known there's an ocean based on how the wind felt earlier.
Which ocean is it?
I don't think it's an ocean that I would be familiar with. I don't even know if this is Earth.
So become aware of what you do during the day.
Well, he goes into town and he has some kind of job. It doesn't sound very exciting. He works so we can like sustain ourselves, but we're also primarily self-sufficient. I love to grow things. I have a big garden behind the house. I don't know when this is. The town looks old, like 1900s or something.
How do you get to town?
There's like a long road. And even to get to the road, we have to go quite a ways. It seems like we just walk though. I feel like that's a long way to walk. I feel like there's something I'm not seeing.
And what do you notice in town when you get there?
A lot of wooden structures, and it kind of feels like a conventional town though. It feels very normal. There's businesses and people talking to each other.
Become aware of what language is spoken.
Danish. Like I'm in Denmark or something.
Do you work outside of home?
I just stay at home, but I like to grow things. I like to read. I like to go in nature. I paint. I have a little room where I have a lot of paintings. It's a very small room. It's not like an art studio. It's a very humble existence, but I really enjoy engaging in my interests. I think I would convert this painting room into the baby's room because we don't have that much room. I kind of paint mundane objects like fruit, or I see a painting of a chair. It looks nice. You get a good sense of the wood. I think I'm a pretty good painter.
And when you look at the painting, you're going to notice how you sign the paintings.
I don't sign my paintings.
Why not?
I feel like I'm claiming ownership of it if I sign it, and that's not what it's for. It's just to capture the natural beauty of things.
So what do you do with your paintings?
People encourage me to sell them, but I've never sold one. I just like to paint, and I hang them around the house. There's a whole bunch of them in this painting room. I don't even know what I'm going to do with them. I just like them, and I don't want to get rid of them. My husband likes my paintings. I think he tells me to sell them, but I feel like that's not the point of them. And whenever I say that, he's kind of like, "Good, we need money." I think I'm just more idealistic with my views, and he's a little more practical.
Does he not make enough money?
He makes enough money for our purposes. We live very comfortably, but he talks about how we want to have a kid, and that's when it concerns him that we don't have enough.
And what work does your husband do?
It just looks like he works with wood or something. I don't really have much of an interest in what he does. It seems like a really small shop, though. Maybe he's an apprentice. I don't think I really like who he works for that much.
Why is that?
He just kind of rubs me the wrong way. This guy's more like, oh, we got to expand the business and we can make more money and we could move to a bigger town even. And it's like disrupting things in ways that I don't really feel like we need to disrupt.
Okay. So on the count of 3, you're going to move to the next significant moment in that life. 1, 2, and 3. Tell me what's happening.
I'm in a graveyard now. I think my husband's dead. He got sick and he died. And I'm a lot older now, like 72, and I'm just visiting him. He's been dead for almost a decade now, and I just kind of feel lost a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I still like that kind of propels me forward. We had 3 kids, though.
Tell me about your children.
There's an older boy and then 2 younger girls. And the boy is a few years older than the girls, and the girls are a year apart. I see them when they were kids, and I just really loved that part of life when we were all together.
How was your financial situation? Were you able to afford everything you needed?
Yeah, we did. Well, we did move. We found a house that was a little bit bigger, and my husband was working at a better job, and he was a really hard worker. I feel like he made me something particular, like a wooden heart. It's very simple. That was the point. He knew I liked simple things, and it's the kind of gift I would appreciate. I keep it in my pocket. I don't even let people see that it's there, but that's just what makes me feel like he's kind of with me.
You still paint?
I do paint, but ever since he died, I paint differently. I feel like I paint more emotionally now. I used to just kind of try to capture natural beauty, but now I just process sadness by putting it on the page. And I like to write too. I write more now. So I don't paint as much. I feel like painting almost reminds me too much of him sometimes, and it just hurts. I write short stories or poems, and I don't really like to share with anybody.
You sound like a pretty private person.
Yeah, I lived most of my life that way.
Did you open up to your husband?
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, I can be sociable, but then at the end of the day, I can't wait to get home and just be just us again. But I really love spending time with my kids. My family is the most important thing to me.
So now that they're grown up, how are they doing?
The son works in place of my husband. My husband taught my son, and he makes pretty good money that way. One of the girls is still there. One of them is moved. She has like an adventurer's spirit, and I like that about her, but I worry about her a lot.
So become aware of the greater environment. Are there any significant things in the world that in any way affected your life?
I feel like they've gone through things, but we're isolated. Maybe like World War I or something. I don't know. Like some big conflict has happened. Maybe not even like recently, now that I'm a lot older. But like when I was younger, it happened. And I think that's partly why I liked our lifestyle so much. I just knew that other people had so much worse lives. But I feel safe. Like I'm not concerned about anyone coming after us.
Okay. So I'd like you to move now to the last day of that life and tell me what's happening.
I'm just laying down and I feel like really weak. It feels like we all have a fuse throughout our life, and that my fuse is nothing left. And I know I'm about to pass away, and I'm just accepting of it. I feel like I can't really communicate it. My family's there, all 3 of my kids. They touch my hand and they say things to me, and they wonder if I can hear them, and I usually can.
About how old are you?
I want to say like 80. I think I'm sick.
What symptoms do you have?
I mean, right now I don't really feel much of anything, but before that, I felt nauseous and weak and I couldn't eat. I looked in the mirror and I just look unwell, like I'm frail and my hair looks whiter and thinner and it feels like I aged very quickly. I guess it makes me emotional, but I'm excited to see my husband because I believe in an afterlife.
And allow your spirit to gently lift out of your body. Your consciousness will begin to expand as you begin to remember who you truly are. And as you look back at that life, what's your first thought or feeling?
I just feel lightness. It feels euphoric. It kind of felt like when I was in the light and it just felt energetic and loving. And I look down and I see my life and I just feel like I had a good life. Like I made a good use of it and I tried to be a helpful person, and I try to raise my kids to be good, and I see the good that they do, and I feel proud. I feel proud of my family, and I felt proud of my husband.
Now, as you look around, you may see someone approaching you in spirit. Just tell me if you notice anyone.
I think I do. It looks like a big person.
So as this person gets closer and closer, you will begin to know who it is and why they're there.
I want to say it looks like an angel, but it kind of looks like the blonde people. They're not saying anything, but it kind of feels the same like when the bear beckoned me outside. They're kind of just, come on this way, we're going now. And I take their hand. It's like a blonde man. He looks like an angel.
Where does he take you?
For a second, I saw something weird. It kind of looked like the thruster of a rocket ship. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's like some kind of technology that I've never seen before. I feel like I'm being shown things that I've never possibly considered.
Ask him what is being shown to you or why.
It's like I'm seeing fragments of other people's memories or something. He's taking me down a museum of lives or something. It's like I'm walking down a hallway of portraits and paintings of moments of lives. He says that these are my lives, and we're doing like a recap. One of the pictures had a rocket thruster, but I feel like I'm in a palace or something. I don't think this could be real. I mean, it feels real. It feels too illustrious. I don't see the purpose of it, but we're just kind of walking together. At first, it was really ethereal feeling, but now it feels like a physical reality. I feel like it must be some kind of illusion because I just don't see how we'd be here or why we'd be here.
Is it like a hall of records?
That's how it feels, but it feels like the records are artsy because I was artsy. And I'm like marveling at the paintings and I'm like, who painted these? They look real. And some of them I think are real. They're like practically photographs. And I don't think I'm very used to seeing that. So I think it's paintings. And some of them are paintings, I think. Like they're on the ceilings and the ceiling's arched and there's paintings everywhere. Even the walls are painted like a church.
So as you are reviewing that life and perhaps other lives at the same time, become aware of what the purpose was for that human life.
It feels like the purpose of that life was to have no purpose, to just consume nature.
So ask this guide that's with you if that was the focus of that experience.
He laughed a little bit, like, don't stress about the focus. He doesn't sound like he wanted me to accomplish anything in particular or wish I had done more or less or differently. He just makes me feel like I had a good life and I should just be content with how it was and my choices and the people that I had. And that's really it.
Well, then I'm going to ask what the relevance of that particular experience is to Steve's current life. Why was that life presented?
I see a picture of my life on the wall, Steve's life. It's a picture of my dog. I love my dog. It's kind of funny to see her there.
As your consciousness rises to a higher level, you'll begin to see the connections, the bigger picture, begin to understand the relevance of seeing that particular life experience to Steve's current life.
I think I'm just a loving entity or something. Like I see my dog because I loved her so much and I value that loving sensation. It makes me think of Jessica, how she makes me feel. When I walk through that hallway and I see all my lives, that's the sensation I get, that I'm a loving person and I lead loving lives. And the angel makes me feel like that's enough.
I want to ask the guide to give you a parting message before we leave them. Anything that they want you to hear, to be reminded of, they can say it and you'll repeat it out loud.
I'm seeing all the paintings again. It's like they're all coming from one source. And I see tendrils connecting all the paintings, and they're all ultimately connected to me. I'm looking at that life from a third person perspective now. She's just looking at me, and it looks like she's about to say something, but I can't hear it.
We're going to turn the sound up, like turning the dial to the right. The sound will become louder and clearer. What is she saying?
And she's smiling. She's saying, stop complicating it. She says this transcendence is right. Throughout her life, she experienced the spiritual awakening too. And she's trying to lend that to the next life. And it's my job to build as much spirituality as possible too. And when I make a stronger connection to that spiritual side and the consciousness, then I can transmute more of it to not even just my life, other lives in general. She says that's the purpose that she sees, and that's how she tried to live her life. And the angel is telling both of us that she was quite successful on that. And that's why I'm seeing this life in particular. I think, especially toward the end, motivated by the passing of her husband, it really helped her to begin to transcend this human form. And with her art, she started to connect with other places. And that's what she was painting. She didn't know where they were coming from, so she'd throw the paintings away. But now the angel's pointing out to all these lives, and she recognizes some of the lives because she painted similar things. So she's conveying to me that there's a sense of memory that is passed down through all these lives, and it's stored in a soul, but I think it's that consciousness again, but it evolves and it builds over time. It's weird that I see myself, Steve, talking to this other me, a woman. I want to give her a high five, she's my best friend.
Well, go ahead and give her a high five.
I did. Yeah, we're laughing. She says that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's the mission, and they wanted her to tell me instead of them telling me. And I think that's really just it. I think we're building transcendent spirituality that Jessica talks about.
Yeah, that sounds good. So let's thank her as she passed the baton to you and you now continue on the same path. Allow her to step back. We're going to let her and the angel and any entities that we have interacted with to recede to where they belong.